Okay, I got a question. Loving this one already. What are special attributes that make memberships more or less successful? Ooh, this is a good one. So let me start by saying this. Thank you so much. Number one, I don't have a membership currently. I have had front-end memberships and I've had back-end memberships in my business at many different times. I'm much more familiar on a personal level with a back-end membership, meaning I ran it much longer and had, I wouldn't say more success, but I found it to be more fun. So let me just get really clear first on what the difference would be. A front-end membership would be something that you're offering to your audience as one of your offers. Like it's in your product suite, it's in your Ascension model. Maybe it's a main offer, maybe it's a supplementary offer? Supplementary. But it's a forward-facing offer that you're promoting, you're launching, you're maybe hosting a masterclass and driving people into it, you're sending emails about it, and anybody in your audience would be able to join so long as they fill in the requirements or fill in the blanks to what the membership is going to provide for them. A back-end membership, however, is going to be a membership that's only offered to graduates or current members that are already in one of your other programs or products. So a really good example for this would be our signature program, Empower, that I talk about all of the time. We've run it 18 rounds live. We've had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people go through it. And I've been running it since 2017. Long time. 2018 was our first official round. 2017 was when I was like beta testing it. But when people graduate out of Empower, we know, because we've done the market research and we've asked and we've had so many clients go through, we know that they're going to want continued support. And a lot of times they're not looking for more coursework or more structured coaching calls or another portal or anything like that. They're in it, like they're in the business, and they're really just looking for like a phone a friend. Can I have a coach in my back pocket? Is there a place that I can go when there's an oh shit moment? And so how do I stay connected to the community? So a back-end membership is going to be something that you offer to people that are already current or past clients. And so that's done more behind the scenes, where when someone's getting ready to graduate out of a program, it's kind of like, hey, if you're looking to continue, like we just started this journey, while the momentum is up, you can continue working with me in this capacity, or you can be a part of the community in this capacity. Or for our alumni and graduates, we offer XYZ for however many months, or you could cancel anytime, right? So a back-end membership is going to be one that you're sort of selling behind the scenes. You're not publicly promoting it. That's the difference between a front end and a back end. Now, I've done both, and I have a lot more experience in my business on a back end membership. No matter which one you're doing, it doesn't really matter whichever one you're doing. There's a couple things that you want to take into consideration. So number one, like any offer that you create, what's the promise of the transformation? What's the transformation they're going to have? What's the promise of not the experience and the deliverables, but what's the promise of transformation? Now, a lot of times in a membership, this is hard to pinpoint or to nail down, because a lot of people, when they start memberships, it's kind of like, connect with like-minded people, yay, don't feel alone, or continued support from me in a myriad of topics and lessons. And so what I'm getting at is sometimes when we run memberships, it's challenging to nail down what the actual transformation is. But as a business owner, you're going to have a much easier time selling your membership if you can give a clear outcome, just like you would for a course or a program or some sort of coaching. So if you can get really clear on the outcome, which might be a little bit hard at first, you definitely want to do that. Similarly, memberships are not just a free-for-all. If they are, they're probably not going to go over very well. So just like you would do for any other offer or product in your business, make sure that you know, who is this for? Like who's the ideal client? It can't be for everybody. When you're trying to speak to everybody, you're speaking to nobody. So who is this membership for? And what are their pains and pleasures? What's the language that they're using? What have they tried before? Why are they looking for a container like this, right? So getting really clear on what's the transformation, who is it actually for? And then of course you can focus on what are the deliverables? So what's the person actually going to get? What can they expect from being in your membership? Now, memberships I've seen done so many different ways. It could be a lot of hand-holding. It could be a little bit of hand-holding. There could be a live component to it with coaching and Q&As, or there could not be. I see people do memberships where they offer things like resources like Spotify playlists that change every month, or monthly or biweekly meditations, or breathwork sessions, or hypnosis. You could do a membership where you're having guests come in. You could have a membership where it's student-led, and maybe you're not actually doing any trainings or teaching anything, but you're actually promoting people within your community inside of your membership. You can do all sorts of things. You can do whatever you want. It could be as high or low ticket as you want. Now, a couple things that I would say are really important for memberships. Number one, with any membership, retention is something that you need to consider. There are going to be industry standards for retention and how long people stick around. Generally, it's a couple months. So most often, depending on whatever industry you might be in, no matter literally whatever it might be, it could be a Peloton app, or it could be somebody's money course membership, or it could be a meditation app, or anything like that. There typically is going to be a range, and it's usually 3 to 6 months might be an average retention across the board. So what you need to consider is that it's not so much that you're always looking for new clients, but it's rather, can you focus on how you can retain your clients you currently have better? So when you can shift your focus, instead of going out and looking for new clients, because a new lead is going to cost you more, and it doesn't mean that you're paying for ads, but a new lead is always going to cost you more attention, intention, energy, content creation, potentially money if you're doing things like ads. But someone who's already in your audience, or someone who's already in your membership, is obviously going to be it's going to be cheaper to keep them around if they're already paying. So rather than focus on how do I get more members into my membership, can you focus on how do I get my current members to stay longer, which is kind of the root of your question. So we're chatting right now about special attributes that make membership model more or less successful. So here are a couple things that I would say that you should definitely make sure you are doing in a membership, whether it's back end or front end, whether it's high ticket membership or low ticket. And I've seen everything in between. I've literally seen people have $7 a month memberships, and then I know people that are doing $1,000 a month memberships, and I've done everything in between. I think our lowest membership we ever ran was about $47 or $49 a month. We ran one for many, many years that was $250 a month. I've done $500 a month, and I've done $1,000 a month. So something that you want to do is the second that somebody joins your membership, whether it's front or back end, the second that they join, we need to make sure that they don't have any sort of buyer's remorse coming up. So you want to give them an immediate win. They need to see an immediate win, and they need to have an immediate transformation within the first 24 hours of them joining. So what can you do? How can you do that? Something that we love doing is we love gamifying everything. So an immediate win can just be something simple like sending them on a scavenger hunt. And so let's say you have your membership, and maybe you run your membership community over in a Facebook group. Maybe one of the first things that happens after they join, they get their welcome email, they get a little packet and all that stuff. And then maybe you send them on a scavenger hunt where they have to go find something in the Facebook group. Maybe that's a pinned featured post. It could be like rules and regulations. Maybe there is something that they have to do, like they have to post a welcome video or a welcome picture of themselves and introduce themselves to the group. Maybe there's a particular post you want them to read, and at the bottom you want them to type something to say that they've read this, or I'm in, or I'm committed, or I'm excited. And what you can do when you gamify this is you can then offer them an incentive to do it. And the incentive could just be that after they do it, maybe you personally reach out to them, or someone on your team, or there's like a congratulations post that goes up that welcomes them in and says that they did the first assignment. So it's not that they have to lose 5 pounds or make $10 or do something like that within the first X amount of hours, but you have to give them something that they can successfully complete so that they feel like it's worth it. They feel like they're capable of finding success in this program. They feel seen and they feel heard, and that needs to happen within 24 hours of them signing up. So can you send them on a scavenger hunt? Another thing that we do with our signature program Empower is we have a bingo board that they fill out. And so throughout the months when they're in our program, each month has its own bingo board. So our signature program is 12 weeks long. And so every month there is a new bingo board that comes out, and they fill the bingo board in as they're going through the content. And we give prizes every single month to people who finish the bingo board. But one of the things that we do is the moment that they join the program, there's stuff they can already check off the bingo board. And it could be as simple as like, did you watch the welcome video? If so, you get to fill out a square or fill in a square on your bingo board. So gamifying it is going to keep people excited. It's going to make people feel like they're already having wins and transformations. So that's number one. Number two, less is more. Most people, especially in memberships, think that they have to give everything away. And in order for people to stick around and see the value, I have to give every single thing but the kitchen sink. And that is just not true. You actually want to give less. Less is going to be more in a membership. You don't want to overwhelm people. The issue with a membership for most people is if they see a charge come through 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, 4 years after they joined, and they see the charge come through and they look at it and they go, have I even, what is this? Like, have I even used this? If they haven't used it, they're obviously going to want to cancel it. And we don't want that to happen. And that happens when there's too much information. So when there's too much information, when there are too many course portals, when there are too many videos, when there's too much stuff, they're not going to go through it. They're going to feel overwhelmed. And someone who's overwhelmed, when they're not going to show up, they're not going to feel successful. They're definitely not going to give you word of mouth testimonials, right? Or get results. But then when they see, when they see the charge come through, they're more likely to go, I haven't even used that. Like, I haven't even logged into that thing. Every time I log into that thing, it's just overwhelming, right? And that's going to be an opportunity for them to want to cancel. Something else to consider when you're doing memberships is, what is your membership model? Is it try it for a week free? Is it going to be try it for $1 and then they get charged after? Is it automatically the $27, $47, $97 a month that it's going to be? If so, I would definitely consider doing things like buy a year full, get 3 months free, right? Buy 6 months ahead of time, get 1 month free. So what I would tell any client of mine is, if you are going to integrate a membership into your business, this is more front end membership if you're going to have one, you want to make sure that at least once a quarter, so 4 times a year, you're doing a marketing push, you're doing some sort of a launch at least 1 time a quarter. Then you also want to be marketing it every single month. And the marketing of it every single month could be a little bit more lighter of a lift. Just letting people know on stories and putting up content, maybe sending out an email, here's what's going down in the membership, or here's someone inside of our membership I want to showcase, like a client of the month, something like that. You can showcase screenshots, testimonials. You could talk about kind of dangling the carrot. So excited, tomorrow I'm doing this epic workshop over in my such and such membership. If you didn't know, you could join at any time. So you're sort of doing that all of the time throughout all of the months. But once a quarter, you really want to focus on a bigger launch. And the bigger launch could be something off of a launch vehicle. So you can host a webinar, a masterclass, you can run a 3-day challenge, a 5-day challenge. You can set up a brand new opt-in. So you can have some sort of a new email opt-in where inside of the email funnel, after they get the opt-in, whatever the free thing is going to be, there can be an email sequence that introduces or invites them into your membership. You can create a quiz. You can do things marketing wise where you do like a BOGO deal. So 1 quarter, you're doing like a buy one, get one, or bring a friend, or, you could do like bring a friend and get a month free. You can do a marketing push, like I said before, like try us out for a week and then it automatically gets charged. Try us out for $1 and then it automatically gets charged. A lot of times my clients who have memberships, when it comes up to the 1-year anniversary or the 2-year, 3-year anniversary of when their membership started, that's when they'll usually do the really big kahuna push where it's like, for a limited time, if you join us and pay for a year in full, we'll give you 3 months for free. Okay, so maybe you do that during like January, and then in the springtime, maybe you run like a spring back, like spring into your goals, or spring ahead on your goals, or spring back to fitness, or whatever it is that you're doing. Maybe you run a challenge or you host like a masterclass. And then maybe in the summer, you do another marketing push where you can lean into the marketing of summer and kids are home from school, and maybe you've fallen off track on your goals and your business and your diet or whatever it might be. And so maybe you do some sort of a super fun summer challenge where it's like, bring a friend, something like that. And then that was summer. And then in the fall, you can do like a fall back to basics. And maybe you do a marketing push there where maybe you host a masterclass and you're giving key things about whatever your proprietary method is, and then you open up your membership from there. So once a quarter, you're going to try a different marketing mechanism and a different launch vehicle. And one time per year, one of those quarters, it might be a bigger launch. I have a client who every year on her birthday, she does a major launch vehicle for her membership, and she tries to enroll hundreds and thousands of people every year on her birthday. And it turns into this like whole big thing. We've also had clients who create physical products. And so the physical product launch itself then becomes the launch vehicle for one of the quarters. So an example here, one of my clients, it's a couple, and they're trainers, and they have online fitness programs, an online fitness membership, and they created a deck of cards, like playing cards. And on the deck of playing cards, there's different workouts that you do on each card. They had come out a couple of years ago. When they launched this product and brought it to market, and they brought the physical box to market that people could buy, we put a QR code on the box where when people got the box, they can scan the QR code and it would open up a little library of free workouts to get people excited and interested and sort of get people falling in love with the way that they teach the workouts. And then at the end of it, it opened up the membership for people. What we also did was we forward-facing did a massive launch around this physical product, and we incentivized people when they bought the physical product, they were going to get 1, 2, or whatever, 3 months of the membership for free because they go hand in hand together. We did the same thing when they did physical products. I've had clients with merchandise that sell sweatshirts and stuff, or mugs, resistance bands. I've had a lot of fitness clients who have fitness memberships. So you can tack it onto a physical product. You can also tack your membership onto a live event. So maybe you host a live event, and for early access, fast action buyers, or maybe there's like a VIP tier, maybe you then roll in a couple months of your membership for free, sort of get them to fall in love with your membership, and then you invite them to stay. You also can do the same thing with a retreat, or you can host like a VIP day. I've seen people do little mini masterminds, like 6-week, 10-week masterminds, that at the end of it, this is then more of a back-end membership, but at the end of it, it's like, if you want to continue on this journey together, then now you can roll it over into a membership. So I have talked a lot about this right now. I hope this is helpful. Are you even still on? I wonder if you are. The question here was all about what makes a membership more or less successful. Just to review, I would say less is more. Don't feel like you have to put everything but the kitchen sink into your membership. Less content is going to be better. Make sure that your client is having an immediate win within 24 hours. Make sure there's a way for you to track transformation and wins as they're coming through. Definitely doing things inside of your community, like shouting out people. This has worked really well for us, doing like community member of the month. You can have questions that are pre-written on like a little Google form. And when you pick someone, like let's say Cassie is going to be our member of the month, I send Cassie like a 3 or 4 question questionnaire. It's kind of like written out like a survey in a Google form. And then what we do is we take her picture, we pop it up at the header of the Facebook group, or maybe it's a pinned post at the top. Here's something cool she's working on right now. And it's a light lift for the team and I, because we're just asking you, like, we want to spotlight you for a month, and we want to push people towards you and your website and your Instagram. All you have to do is answer these 3 questions where we interview you, and then we're going to post you. And then that also creates momentum. You can do things inside your membership too, like you can incentivize your people to create their own pods. You can have accountability groups. You can be giving them homework. You can also have, if you have higher level clients or people that have been loyal and worked with you for a really long time, you can have them in your membership, whether it's free or it could be like a barter, where you're asking them to help you run it. But you can have ambassadors or like a hype squad, or it could be a paid position. And so those ambassadors or those hype squad members, they're in the group with the intention to keep it alive and post every single day. And so for me, I would have at least 7. And of my 7 hype squad members, Cassie, you would always be responsible for Mondays. Karen, you'd be responsible for Tuesdays. Rick would be responsible for Wednesdays, so on and so forth. And then we would give you some sort of a like loose schedule where each day, maybe you guys are 1 week we're all, you're posting something motivational, or here's a funny meme, or here's a podcast you're loving. And then also, in addition to helping post and keep the group alive, you're in there with the intention to help like, comment, and respond. If there's a particular question, maybe for me, and that's allowed, and that's like one of the expectations in the group. If I don't see it, maybe you tag me and you let me know. But also, you're leading by example, you being the hype squad or the ambassadors, and you're leading by example by actually doing the homework and showcasing the coursework or whatever that might be and adding to it. So having a hype squad or ambassadors inside of a membership is going to be huge. We always, always, always make sure that we have that. And it could be community driven. So that in itself can be something that your membership community members are looking forward to. Like they want to become an ambassador. Maybe it's something they have to apply for. Maybe it's something that you gift people when they've, consistently shown up in the way that you would want them to. And again, it could be paid or unpaid, but having community inside of your community to help your community is going to be huge. And then also just leading by example in the sense that we really want to make sure that we're building a community and not just an audience. So an audience is when people are connecting with you and they're aspiring to be like you and they want to speak to you, and it's a you and them thing. It's very much like followers and influencers. But when you're building a membership, especially, you want to build a community. A community is how do you connect them to them? How do they want to be like each other? How do they want to help each other? How do they want to meet each other in real life and hold hands and go to events together? So what can you do as the leader to help really foster and facilitate a community within? Because what happens when we have a community? Well, we don't want to leave, right? Well, my best friend is there. I don't want to leave. I know it's like $20 a month. Do I really need to stay? But like, I'm going to have such FOMO if I leave. Or you then decide to, we've done this before, host an event, right? Or host a retreat. You want your people calling each other like, yo, are you going to go to the event in Scottsdale? Like, yeah, I don't know. I was thinking, you know what, screw it. Let's just go. Call up your other friend. Cool. Now you have 4 people that are getting an Airbnb together, coming to your event because of the community that you've created. So you can even do that in a really simple way. When you're speaking to your community, if you're doing calls, if you're offering Q&As, if you're putting up posts, the call to action isn't just like post your homework or let us know what you're working on, but rather it's like tag a friend inside of our community that you think this would be helpful, this would be helpful for. Or has anyone in here seen that anyone else needs XYZ? Or would anyone in here like to do a podcast swap? Like you want them to really cultivate that community together. So setting up marketing pushes once a quarter, definitely once a year, making sure that you're incentivizing and testing different ways to do marketing, different types of payment styles and plans. You could do tiered approaches to your memberships. I think less is more, and I think that gets really confusing. So I would stay away from that, meaning having like VIP, if you pay X dollars more, you get like more bells and whistles. I don't love that. Clear expectations is going to be huge. I think one of the big things that happens to a lot of coaches is they put a membership up and they think it's going to be less work for them. And they are expecting, the business owner is expecting, like, I'm not available all the time. This is a low ticket membership. You got to do you. And then members come in, and if the expectations aren't clear, they think that they're getting you at a lower price point. And so then you get disappointed, frustrated, angry people, or they're constantly in there and they're always tagging you and they want. And then you, the business owner, might start to feel resentment. You don't understand. Why is someone unhappy? Why are people leaving? So making sure right off the bat, the expectations are super clear. What's my proximity to you? How much can I actually talk to you? Is it actually not you at all? Is it your team that runs this membership? What am I going to be getting out of this? So I said a lot. I hope this was helpful. And then I'm going to pop off for today. Such a great question. Thank you so much for those of you who submitted. I will see you on our live tomorrow. Remember, Monday through Friday, I do free coaching over coffee in the morning while I get ready. And as I end every episode, cheers to your evolution. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you loved this episode, I invite you to be a part of our ripple effect and share it with a friend. And please, if you feel called, take 30 seconds to leave a 5-star review, and I'll be forever grateful. Until next time, cheers to your evolution.